Hello and welcome. Today I'm doing an unboxing and a quick test of paint spray that I bought from Amazon. As you can see, it's a quite nicely packaged box, and main reason that I bought this one over all the other ones I've seen, which I'll go through in a second actually. First of all, it does look rather nice with the yellow on it, but beside the colour, what I'll show you inside is like. I haven't opened it yet, so it's the first time I'm opening it. This is from Amazon. It was $39.99. It looks like it's been packaged in a way that's something's supposed to be in here. But anyway, let's carry on. It's supposed to be brand new, so it does look brand new. So let's go. There's the head part for it, and we go dig further in. Get everything out. I think it's really an option. So what do you get in the box? You've got your normal instructions. You've got your tub that I think this one carries 800 milliliter. This is to test to see how thick your mix is, or do you need to use a thinner for the paint. But I'll be testing it on paint that's going to be for my fence I'm going to be using. We'll see how that goes. So that's that there. Head part of it is there, and that basically leaves me with the main machine itself. Oh, two. Alright, so one of the reasons I bought it, I've seen the other ones, the inside of the bits here, they come in different sizes I think anyway. So these were plastic I think, I assume, but this one's got the metal part, so it will last longer maybe, and it'll be easier to clean. That's one of the reasons I bought it. And the other reason is the way it comes apart. The way that this comes apart I think was much more simpler than the other ones that I've noticed. I mean, all it is basically the air gets pushed from here, pressurized air into here, takes the paint from here as it comes out, and of course sprays through here. Well, we'll see how well this works when we test it out. For now, it's got the UK plug and it is $39.99. I think their going price for most of these were about the same price, so in between $35 for the cheaper ones, and the more expensive ones can go for a bit more. This one's made, it's pronounced Ocaleb. I haven't used their brand before, but it's got the British flag on it, so I'm not sure exactly where it's made, but it does say made in China in the box. Difference between these ones and the other ones I've noticed is the container capacity is one of the factor. Some can have a bigger container, and this one's got the 550 watts. Now you can get the 400 watts or more, or you can go 600, but I went for the middle size one. Now I assume it's quite easy to put through. You literally just goes into here like this, push it in, and it locks in place with that. Paint goes into here, and we push this in. There it goes. This one, I suppose the intensity of it. Let me give it a go and see what it does. It only turns one way or the other, so this is minimum, this is maximum, and I think this is where it goes into a little circle motion. So if you can see clearly on here, I don't know how well you can see it there, this is more circle, so if I turn this way, I think it's more circular action there, and the other way is more oblong shape, so it probably widens up a bit more on the spray. I think this is what it does. Anyway, we'll figure it all out later. Another thing to show you basically how to take this apart, how to change these, and as you can see, this comes off so easily. That's it. And I want to use the largest one. That's 1.8. This is 2.5. This is 1. So I'm going to go with the 2.5. 1 second, just putting it inside here. Let's see now. It just literally goes in. That's in, and they do get a replacement as well, so I need to change this. Question now is, okay, this is where it gets interesting. Got to use this, I assume, and somehow I don't want to break this now. There we go. These are all metal. I'm going to get this replaced with the larger one, and literally just goes into here, and we'll tighten it down. That's 2.5. So for the 2.5 nozzle, you have to use this. Don't over tighten it, just enough to keep it in there. That's that done. Now this is in here now. All I need to do, push it inside. Oops. Push it inside and ease it inside here. So that's in place. I have to turn this to put it in place. And there it goes. It's all ready to go. Put the other stuff back in because we're going to need them for another time. They should have given a box or something to keep all of these into, but we'll end up losing them now. That's my another worry with all the tools and stuff that I have. Anyways, now we're going to go into the testing part. Turn it on, put some paint into the box, see how that works. I'll show you the thickness that I've got, and let's see if they can cope with that thickness. Then you can cope with anything basically. It's quite easy. The trigger's there. So yeah, we'll go into the testing part next. Alright, there are a few things to consider when doing this spraying, especially safety first. You've got your goggles, you've got your masks, because they do spray and they do spread everywhere as well. If there's wind, you'll go anywhere, and also you've got to consider where you're spraying. Is it going to spray anything that you don't want it to be sprayed, especially with next door neighbors, things, or anything that you do not want to spray? Make sure you cover it up. Anyway, now looking at the paint, first of all, it's the paint I'm today testing with. It's the Fence Life. I think it's alright, yep. So this is what I'm going to try, but only problem with this is it is very, very thick. So if I open this up, the paint is very thick. You can see it's very thick, so we need to dilute it a bit slightly. The viscosity of this has to be reduced so they can easily go through the nozzles. I'm going to use 800ml, so 10% has to be done, so roughly dilute it a bit, make sure it's runny enough for it to go through. So I'm going to put some in here. Got my tub. Got something to scoop the paint out. It's very thick. It's almost jelly-like. Oops. Back on the desk, isn't it? Now just to mix it over. And straight away you can see it's much more runnier. Make sure you mix thoroughly. You can always use this to test it. See if it's within 45 seconds to 50 seconds. Read the instruction on the thing, how long it could be. If it goes through this within that time, they should be fine. But I can see straight away it is looking good. I think I might through here. Always make sure, depending on the angle you're spraying, the plastic bit that I'm touching here needs to be in the right place. So when you're angling it, my for now is fine because it's full. When it gets to the lower down, you're going to get it in the right place. So you've got to make sure that's in the right angle. Okay, that's ready to go, I think. This way is small, so I'm going to start with small go large and see which one works. And this also tells you which angle the spray is going to come out. You can go vertical or horizontal depending on which angle you have. So right now it's in vertical, okay, so I can go like this quite easily. If it's horizontal, it's that way. Turn around, make sure everything's locked in place. This is quite interesting. So you literally press and it goes. Okay, so let's undo this and put it onto a plug point and see how it goes. Now that I'm ready to go, get your mask on. Now, just to let you know, this is being brown already on there. It's going to take me quite a few attempts to get a colour that I want. So the light in the background is easy to paint. You've got to remember that. It's on. Let's do this. Alright, so starting with this right place. I'm going to go vertically, set that up right. I think we're good to go. So it's going to spray everywhere. It's a bit windy. I don't know how well you'll see this, but it might go everywhere. Right, okay, let's try this now. This is very circular motion. So you're going to go for a bit more full. So I've changed this to now full oblong. Let's see how that goes. With the full on there, it's sort of going everywhere spraying, so I'm going to thin it down a bit more, halfway maybe, halfway. And right now it's set to horizontal actually, so I'm to put it on a vertical. I don't know if you can see this, you can quite easily overdo it and you'll spread and you'll drip. So you might need a brush just to brush those areas up. So yeah, I mean, overall, this will do the job for me, but I'm not quite happy with the fact that it's not spreading evenly in a sort of vertical or thingy motion. It could be that I've used the wrong nozzle, so I might change that in a second, see how that one works. I'm going to change it to a smaller one and see how that one works. Right, now I've got the 1.8 on. Change it around. Let's see how this works. This is much better now because this is much better. I've adjusted this and now I'm getting a perfect horizontal line, as you can see. done. I'm going to go back. Alright, my conclusion to this sprayer. It's not the easiest thing to use, as well as a brush which takes longer, so in a way it does do better than a brush, but you've got to make sure you flow it right and you've got the right steady hand. As you can, that's not my best job, but this is the test surface to see how it works, and it is dripping a lot. So you've got to make sure you do it right. I'm going to have to give it a couple of more coats on there. What I liked about this product itself, that it is coping with it. Only thing I will say is just doing a 2 meter squared maybe or less. Pretty windy. So did about 2 meters squared and the tub's finished. So it's not the best when it comes to spraying, because it does use a lot of paint. I may have put too much water in it. That's another thing you've got to be careful of. So these are mistakes that you need to know of when you're doing this. If it's too thick paint, make sure you get the consistency right, the viscosity is right. That's why it's dripping a lot more than it should do. So next attempt, I'm going to make sure I don't dilute it too much and see how it works. Getting the 10% right is a hard job, so you've got to make sure you get that right. So overall, I'll be carrying on using this, and you can get away with using something like this, which is 40 quid, 39.99. Over all the other £100 that you might spend, because they all do roughly the same job. Only thing that I didn't like, the angle that this sprays at. It's not vertical enough, I would say, but then again, I think none of them does as well. But you've got to make sure you cover up the area that you don't want to paint, because it does spray all round, and it's sort of the windy day, you'll blow quite a lot. I think what I'll do is I'll reduce the amount of water that I use, then it'll stop the dripping. That's what I'm going to do next. So I do give it a thumbs up. I'll probably give it about, out of 10, 7 for the ease of use and how easy to clean, and also the bits inside is this plane going over. Bits inside is very much metal based, not plastic ones I've seen the other way. It's better. It is very easy to use over a hard work that you could do with a paintbrush. So overall I give 7 out of 10. Ease of use, easy to clean, and if we get the mixture right, that's the hard bit, to get the mixture right. If you get the mixture right, it should work perfectly fine. So I'm going to carry on with this. So thank you very much for watching. So this is how the first coat looks like close up, as you can see. So I've got to do another couple more, about 3 more to get this right. Now this is how bad it will look if you are not careful how you use it. As you can see, it's dripping there. If you use too much water, it will drip. So you've got to be sure of this. That's why I'm trying to point out how easy it is to use, but at the same time you've got to make sure you got the mixture right. If you don't, this is the mistakes that you can make. So you can learn from this, make sure you get that right, and don't take shortcuts as I have done so without measuring. And that's the difference. So this is how it should look from the distance for the first coat, and this is how it shouldn't look if you put too much water in. So the machine itself is doing a very good job, so I do rate it quite high, but it's just the fact that, and if you don't use it right, you get a mixture result. Right, as you're using it, if you're not using any of the item and you've got paint on it, I've literally just put it into the water to dilute anything that's in there, and that's the easiest way to clean it. And the best thing to do is basically use the water tap and just rinse it out. Make sure not to lose anything, of course. You can see this is a bit dirty, so I'm just going to clean this out. Being metal pieces, it makes life so much easier because it cleans much easier. I have to drop this small piece. Once it's clean, keep it in the water for a short time. They're all going in the water. Alright, now next bit to do is to clean the nozzles here. Next one. Take this off. Take it out. I'll do one piece at a time. There. Take the other piece out. There's a lot of paint in here. I'll probably put that back in and give that a clean. Also make sure this is clean as well. So I'm going to take this out. You can see it cleaned up quite nicely. And simply just wipe it back. That was an easy clean job. Put it back in there as well. You don't have to worry about that. Now that leaves me with just the lid. Now you've got to be careful, it's electric, so what you need to do is unlock this. Comes off like that. This is where the air goes in from. So I'm just going to give it a quick clean. The lid area. This is what makes it easier because you can easily clean it. Because the whole head comes off from the electric machine. As the front comes off completely, it makes life easier to clean. And also, just to show you, the inside is metal, which I do like. With others being plastic, it might wear out and break easily, so this makes life much more easier. But there you go, that's the cleaning process done.